There comes a time on the twin flame journey that can feel especially heavy, confusing, and even heartbreaking. It's that moment when the divine masculine pulls away. Maybe he stops responding to your messages. Maybe he disappears after a period of deep emotional connection. Or maybe he simply becomes distant, like he's right there but not really there. The silence can feel deafening, like a void has opened up where love once bloomed. You might ask yourself, what went wrong? Why is he pulling away when everything was going so well? Did I do something to cause this? This silence, this retreat, can feel personal, but it's not. And I want you to really hear this. It's not a rejection of you. It's not proof that your connection is gone. And it's certainly not a sign that your divine masculine doesn't care. What it is, though, is a powerful part of the soul's awakening, both yours and his. Before we go any further, I want you to take a deep breath and gently place your hand over your heart. Let yourself feel the truth. Your twin flame journey is not a linear one. It's not a straight path from meeting to union. It is an unfolding, a deep, layered spiritual process that brings up everything buried within both souls so that it can be transformed into light. Silence is part of that unfolding. Today, we'll reveal why your divine masculine withdraws and goes silent. Not just from a surface level view, but from the soul level, the heart level, and the energetic truth that guides the sacred path. When you understand what's truly happening beneath the silence, you gain the insight, peace, and empowerment to shift your energy, rise above fear, and support the union your soul knows is real. Number 1. The divine masculine withdraws to confront his inner wounds. One of the most important things to understand about the divine masculine energy is that it carries deep, often hidden wounds. While the divine feminine is more open, expressive, and willing to look at her emotional pain, the masculine energy tends to suppress it. From childhood, society conditions men and masculine energies to be strong, to not cry, to keep going, even when they're breaking inside. So when the intense connection of a twin flame union comes in, a connection that penetrates all defenses, the divine masculine is often overwhelmed. He begins to feel things he's never allowed himself to feel before. Vulnerability, fear of loss, a longing for love that he may have denied or buried. And because this level of emotional honesty is unfamiliar and even frightening, the instinct is to run. Not always physically, but emotionally. He may go silent because facing these feelings feels too heavy, too fast, and too out of his control. But that silence is not empty. Within it, a storm is brewing, not of chaos, but of awakening. He is being forced to sit with himself, to hear the parts of him that were ignored for years, maybe decades. And that is not easy. There is guilt, shame, unhealed trauma, and a deep fear that he is not enough. These wounds don't heal in a day, and he can't heal them while performing, pretending, or people-pleasing. He has to retreat, even if it hurts you in the process, because his soul is pushing him toward a deeper healing. This is the moment where your divine masculine begins, even unconsciously, to confront the pain that his ego has been shielding him from. He needs space to do that. And though it feels like abandonment, it's actually a step toward authenticity. He isn't walking away from you. He's trying to figure out who he is outside of all the masks he's been wearing. That takes silence. That takes solitude. That takes time. As the divine feminine, your role is not to chase, fix, or try to pull him back. Your light is strong enough to hold the connection steady even while he finds his footing. He needs to see that your love isn't controlling or demanding. He needs to feel that your energy is safe, that it isn't pushing, pulling, or panicking. That's what helps him return. Your centeredness, your trust in the bond, and your ability to continue growing while he grows too. Number 2. Silence is how the masculine processes overwhelm. Divine masculine energy is often very mentally driven. While the feminine tends to process through emotions and intuition, the masculine often needs time to sort through thoughts, analyze patterns, and create internal order. So when the twin flame connection activates a tidal wave of feelings, the masculine can feel overwhelmed, not just by the depth of emotion, but by the speed at which everything is happening. He starts to see signs. Synchronicities follow him, dreams become vivid, his sense of normal begins to crumble. The intensity of the bond with you might make him feel out of control. And for someone who's always valued control over his life, his emotions, and his environment, this can be terrifying. So he retreats into silence, not because he's choosing to ignore you, but because his internal system is overloaded. He may not know how to put what he's feeling into words. He may be afraid that if he tries to explain what's happening inside, he'll sound crazy. He may worry that he'll hurt you with his confusion. Silence, then, becomes a coping mechanism. It's his way of saying, I need space to understand this. This is not emotional immaturity. It's emotional self-protection. He may not have the tools yet to stay grounded in the intensity. And if you push during this phase, it doesn't help. It adds pressure, which increases the overwhelm. What helps instead is your steadiness, your ability to hold your own center and give him the room to sort through what's happening inside. In this space of silence, the divine masculine is learning how to feel without shutting down, how to trust the invisible currents of love, and how to let go of control. His soul is guiding him to become more present, more heart-centered, and more aligned with truth. And though he may not have the words to say it yet, your energetic support, your calmness, your unconditional love creates a safe bridge back to connection. It's important during this time not to take his silence as personal rejection. That only deepens the wound and creates energetic resistance. Instead, step into your power. Ground yourself in your own growth. Use this time to deepen your spiritual practices, align with your higher self, and remember, when one twin ascends, the other is called to rise too. The silence is not a wall. It's a doorway into transformation. Number 3, fear of unworthiness drives him to pull away. One of the most misunderstood aspects of the divine masculine's silence is the hidden belief, I don't deserve this kind of love. As painful as it may be to accept, many divine masculines struggle with deep-seated feelings of unworthiness. They look at you, your light, your love, your patience, your spiritual awareness, and they feel small in comparison. It's not that they don't want to be with you. It's that they don't believe they can be. This fear of unworthiness is not conscious most of the time. It sits below the surface, buried beneath layers of ego, pride, and emotional armor. But your love exposes it. Being around you makes him confront the parts of himself he's tried to hide, the mistakes, the failures, the guilt he carries. And instead of leaning into healing, he often chooses silence, because silence feels safer than vulnerability. When he withdraws, it may be because he feels like a burden. He may believe that he will disappoint you, or that you'll eventually see his flaws and leave. So in a twisted form of self-protection, he leaves first. Not because he doesn't love you, but because he does, and he doesn't think he's enough. This inner conflict plays out in ways that can seem cold or distant. He may become avoidant, emotionally numb, or even pretend that he doesn't care. But this is all a mask to cover the raw truth inside. I'm afraid I'll lose you. And I'm afraid I already have. What helps in this stage is your ability to hold compassion without trying to fix him. He doesn't need you to rescue him from his pain. He needs to see that he's worthy even when he feels broken. He needs to witness your love as steady, not conditional on his healing speed or emotional availability. It's okay to give him space, but do so without resentment or blame. That only deepens the wound. Instead, affirm his worthiness, not through words he may not hear, but through the energy you hold. Speak to him through your soul. Radiate love, not need. When he begins to feel safe, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, he'll begin to believe he's enough. And when he feels that, he will come back, not because you pulled him, but because he chose to rise into the love that was always his. Number 4, the masculine retreats to break old attachments. Another powerful reason your divine masculine goes silent is because his soul is leading him to break away from old attachments. These attachments can take many forms: toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, limiting beliefs, or outdated identities. And when the twin flame connection activates, those attachments can no longer coexist with truth. They begin to crumble. But the process of letting go can feel terrifying. The divine masculine may still be deeply entangled in old patterns, emotionally or physically. He may be in karmic relationships or tied to situations that drain his spirit. And while his soul knows these things must be released, his human self may resist. This resistance creates internal chaos. And in that chaos, he goes quiet. He may be trying to figure out who he is without the roles he's been playing. He may be wrestling with guilt over leaving people or paths behind. He may be afraid of the unknown that comes after letting go. Silence, in this case, is the space where his old self begins to die and his true self is born. As the divine feminine, it's easy to want to help, to explain, to guide, to lead him out of confusion. But this part of the journey isn't yours to lead, it's his. He has to face the discomfort of release on his own. He has to choose freedom for himself. And though it's painful to watch from the sidelines, your energy of trust and detachment actually supports him far more than your presence could. Let him have his silence. Let him find his clarity. Let him untangle himself from the things that no longer serve him. Because when he returns, and he will, he'll come back from a place of freedom, not fear. And that's the energy you want in union. A man who chose his path consciously, who let go of the old so he could fully embrace the new. Number 5, the silence is preparing both twins for union. Lastly, and perhaps most beautifully, the silence is not just his journey, it's yours too. When your divine masculine withdraws, it creates a sacred pause, a space in which you are invited to turn inward, to deepen your connection with yourself, and to align even more fully with your own soul. This is not a punishment, it's preparation. For the love you're calling in, the real, sacred, eternal love, both twins must be ready. Not perfect, but aligned. Not free from fear, but rooted in love. Your masculine silence gives you the chance to see where you still seek validation outside of yourself. It reveals the places where you may have been giving too much or attaching your worth to his presence. And as you heal those parts, your light grows stronger. Your vibration rises. Your inner union deepens. And that inner harmony is what draws the outer union closer. This silence is a divine classroom, one where you learn how to love without losing yourself, where you remember that the journey is not about chasing, fixing, or waiting, but about embodying the truth of who you are. And as you become that truth, you become the lighthouse that calls your twin home. So don't fear the silence. Don't rush it. Don't fill it with noise. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Let it show you what needs to be seen. Because the silence is not the end of the story. It's the turning point. And when the time is right, when the healing has done its work, you'll feel it, that gentle shift, that pull back into connection, and you'll know the silence was never empty. It was full of love, full of growth, and full of the divine promise that union is not just possible, it's already unfolding. Let this be your reminder. Your divine masculine silence is not the absence of love. It's the presence of transformation. Trust it. Honor it. And most of all, keep walking in your light, because the path you're on is sacred, and every step, even the silent ones, are bringing you home,